After the 2.0 update came out, I just had one question. How the heck do people on Instagram make these things so quickly? Hi y'all, I'm EJ, you're you. Welcome to my channel. I did not know where to start with all of these new items, and I'm sure that I am not alone in that. I am going to come at you with 4 new areas that you can add to your island today that use 2.0 items. These are just meant to inspire you. You don't have to copy them item for item unless you, I don't know, really want to. And let's get into it with our first area. So our first area is a Marina Dock area, and it is inspired by Baes at Flowery Painting on Twitter. So shout out to her. So the first thing that we are going to do with this area is to decorate this dock, and we got to keep it nice and simple just because Cap'n is here. He's the main star of the show, so we're just going to put down a couple fishing accoutrements, and then we're going to put down some boats to make the actual marina, making sure that they face towards the water so you can like very easily, you know, push out into the ocean and all that stuff. We're also going to put down a cute little lighthouse, you know, Old Faithful. Now, a few of these new stacked fish containers are going to create a really good, like, fish market feeling area. I'm making sure to put all these tall items in the back and putting short items in the front to make it nice and layered. And then a very simple boat maintenance area with just a few items. And the only new item I'm using here is that new box seat. Some fish drying racks, of course, a cannon because fishes. And that is basically the area done. It's so simple. But I like this because it's a nice good mix of like the 1.0 and the 2.0 items. I mean, these boats honestly just fill up the area so easily, and you really just don't have to add too much fluff to it. It doesn't really require a lot of that, but you know me. And if we look at Bex's original post, she kept it very simple. She used a few more boats. She has put a bench on the dock and she put some boots, and like that was enough for me, but I just like to, you know, dress it up and use a few more things. The good thing also is that this arch does not prevent us from talking to Cap'n, so you can still go to him, get a tour. Of course, I do not have enough Nook Miles, but that's okay. And here are all the new items that I used in this build, along with how you can find them, where you can get them, all those things. I'm going to try and do this for each of the builds today, but I might miss a couple. I'm not perfect, you know, despite what you might think. And our next area is going to be a clock tower. What? I love this. So to do this, you're going to do a little bit of terraforming. You're going to make an 8x8 square for the base of this tower, and then you're going to put a 6x6 square on top of that, and that is going to form the basis for our clock tower. Then make sure you collect your Nook Miles because this is indeed a new island, and this is the first time I terraformed on it. Yay! And then you're going to use these castle gates and walls to actually create the structure of the clock tower. I'm only going to do the front, like half of it for this video, half because just, you know, time, and also because these are very expensive and this is a new island, so I don't have that much money. You're gonna place all of those, and we're gonna use a bamboo shelf to actually be the clock face. It is a little bit short though, so I recommend removing one of those front castle walls to actually make it seen. We're going to put a gear apparatus on either side of the bamboo shelf just to really drive home the whole clock thing. I put these gear towers behind it as well, but I don't really love them because there's that negative space all in between it. So tore those down, and I'm going to put instead a castle tower behind the bamboo shelf to be the kind of like back. And that with some castle walls is basically going to wrap up this build. Very quick, right? But it's super effective. That's the name of the 2.0 build. It's just very easy and effective builds. This tower, listen, I would be lying if I said that I loved the bamboo shelf. Like, I don't love it, but like, honestly, I couldn't really think of like another 2x1, like, circular thing like that. The only other idea that I had was like maybe putting the gear apparatus on that second level, and then maybe like the top gear would look like the clock, but I don't know. But either way, I think this is a very cool build, definitely very versatile because the castle walls and the castle stuff just comes in a lot of different color variations. But I will warn that this is the most expensive build that we have this time because these castle walls are not cheap. Here's all the new items that I used in this build and how you can find them, and we are going to get onto the next build, a Gyroid Farm. Cute! We're going to start by alternating columns of light dirt and dark dirt to get like kind of the rows of dirt look that is so farm reminiscent. Old trick, old trick. silo at the back for some verticality along with a tree. And then we're going to be using Harv's fence around the edge because I just think it looks incredible. I'm leaving a gap in the front as well because I want to put a stall up there. And then on the back, we're going to use some retro transit stops to push together to be a shed with a handcart to sell the illusion. Of course, we have to put a windmill. Definitely one of my new favorite items. I'm going to make a little market spot at the front of this farm, but I'm not totally sure about how I'm going to figure out the counters, so this is the first draft, and it's not really the best. But look, antique cash register and vintage stool. A match made in heaven. We love it. I switched out the counter for this white and brown version, and then I'm laying out some gyroids. Like, it's like a market. You come and you buy your gyroid. You're like, ooh, I love to buy the gyroids. Great. And here's where I figure out the proper counter placement. Good job, BB. We're going to put some gyroids in front, and we're going to put a tree down as a misguided attempt to add some verticality, as well as a light arch hanging light thing. Now, because this is a gyroid farm, we're going to put down a water pump and a watering can because, you know, you have to water the gyroids. And then we're going to bury a bunch of gyroids around in kind of random places, making it look very natural and stuff. To make it look lived in, we're going to dig a hole, put a gyroid fragment and a shovel next to it. The hole is going to close up every time that you save or whatever, but you can just dig it up whenever you have company over. Finally going to get rid of that tree and put a chefalera instead. We're going to move that tree to the other side of the arch. Now for this front market area, I'm going to stagger the counter and everything, and then we're going to also put down some pathing just to really set it out. I want this to feel very farmer's market and everything. We're going to add in this project table as a front display and use a wooden crate to fill space on the stall behind so we can actually show off the gyroid. And then we're going to highlight one of our favorite gyroids in front. And that's it. That is the farm. This uses a bunch of my favorite 2.0 items, but I think a lot of this design can be done with a lot of 1.0 if you don't have a lot of the 2.0 stuff yet. And a lot of these things are from the Nook Stop that you can use Nook Miles to buy. So definitely something you could go and do right now. This could be a functional area, or it could be like just for a show. Whatever you want to do, it's totally up to you. And here are the new items I use in this build, along with how you can find them. Great, next area, yeah? A tree house. Meow, 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 meow. So we're gonna start by building a raised section of cliffs. We're gonna have 2 levels, and this first one is gonna look slightly inappropriate to begin with, but don't worry, it is going to get more PG, I guess, as we go on. Once that's all filled in, we are basically just going to echo that shape on the top level. We're going to make sure to leave some squared off pieces for some greenery and lushness. We're also going to widen it out just so that we can have a 3 square wide stretch at the very front. Throw up some vine ladders, and there's the section. Here's what it looks like, and it doesn't look inappropriate. Now we're going to put down some wood pathing all around because TreeHouse, you know, it's made of wood. And this gazebo, which will get pushed back, don't worry. We're just pushing it up here for space for the moment. Boom, structure. Of course, we are using these hanging light arches. They are my favorite. And then we are going to build up some more cliffs in the back because I want to add in some lushness with these pergolas that just make it look like you're really like up in the treetops. We're going to use a glitch to put some trees on cliff edges. I will link to a video below about how to do those. And then we're putting some lush vines and different plants and things on the side just so that we can make it look, you know, all lush and treetoppy. Ooh, look at the trees. Vines go everywhere. Vines go everywhere. Baobab trees, some chefaleras, some triangle topiaries. Now we're going to start filling in the actual treehouse itself. We're going to use this crate and Moroccan floor pillows to make a cute little cozy seating area on the side. And then once we have that down, we're going to push back the gazebo, and it really makes it feel like this whole thing is structured, like it's all contained inside one kind of building. We're going to throw down a few more seating options, put down this hanging light arch again because it's my fave. And then we're just going to throw down a few little things of the Harv's fencing. And we're going to put down a box of stuff, basically like it's, you know, a kid's crafting area. A little bit more greenery just to round it out. And here we go. A tree house. I really love how in 2.0 we do not have to rely on like illusions and things like that and trickery to achieve these kinds of things. I mean, this feels like it is a treehouse. It feels like it's in the canopy of the trees because we have so many new plant options that we don't really have to like cheat. It feels awesome, and I think it looks so much better. But this does use a lot of new items, so this is going to be a couple slides, I guess, of the items and where to find them. But I just really like how this looks, and I'm kind of sad that I have to tear this area down on my island. So I hope this gave you guys some inspiration for how to use some of these 2.0 items on your island and to get out there and get builds in, making new areas and things. Let me know in the comments down below some of your favorite areas that you're building with the 2.0 items. And make sure you hit that sub button to come hang out more. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, I will see you guys later. Stay hydrated, stay cute, and stay you, y'all. Bye!